Okay, the Mishnah on Daf Kuf Daled Amid Beis, it stated that there were two Dayani Gezeres Yishalayim, Admon and Chanan. And Chanan, they said, Admon said 7 things, Chanan said 2 things, and the Chacham did not agree with them. The Mishnah said, what was the thing that Chanan said? That a woman who goes ahead and she claims a Kesuba, she claims Mezainis from a husband that went overseas, right? So she doesn't have to swear when she gets a Mezainis. When she collects a Mezainis, she does not have to swear that she didn't receive anything in advance, that the husband did not leave her a little packet, right? But she has to swear when she collects a ksuba, she would have to swear that the husband not leave her anything. However, the Kahanim Gedolim disagreed with him. Rabbi Daisa said, Rabbi Daisa ben Arkinas agreed with the Kahanim, and Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said, Yafa Amar Chanan loy tishba ela b'seif. He said that Chanan, that what at the end, I agree with what Roni is the Chanan. Okay. Anyway. We didn't get to that Gemara yet, the one that I wanted, but it's good. It says, so you're going overseas. Chanan said you don't have to swear when you're collecting mezainis. Itma, Rav Amar, Rav says the following. We're going to have machloikis amaroyim, and we're going to ask Quran Mishnah. Rav says, Poiskim mezainis leisha, when if a husband goes ahead and he goes overseas, right, do we go ahead and give him mezainis? Says, yeah, Bezin will go down. Bezdin will go down to the property and they'll give mezainis for the wife. That's according to Rabbi. Shmuel Lama ain't place mezainis the Eishes Ish, and Shmuel says you don't. But now Amar Shmuel moideli Abba. Abba is moided to me the shleisha chadashim yishayim the first 3 months. The fishein adam aniach beisay rekan. The guy who goes out, he's going to leave his wife with the nest egg. He's going to make sure that the pantry is full. He's going to make sure that she has credit in the makolit. For 3 months, Abba's moided to me that you don't have to give him sinus. The guy's away for 3 months. The first 3 months is we're not talking about. When you hear that he went overseas and consequently died, everyone agrees that you would give him a sinus, because then once he's dead, she's entitled. That's Tanai Ksuba. Then Almana eats from the estate as long as she doesn't collect the Ksuba. By now, in this Masechta, if you don't know that, this is Shaynish good, right? You don't know that the money is from the estate as long as she doesn't collect the ksuba. So now, we're trying to set the scene of the machlokes Rav and Shmuel. First 3 months, Rav agrees you can't collect anything. Guy's dead. Shmuel agrees you could collect. Ki pligi when's machlokes b'shaloi shamu b'mes. After 3 months, and you didn't hear if he died or not. After 3 months, and you didn't hear if he died or not, then that's the machlokes. Rav Amar, Poiskin, Rav says you would, Bezdin would be able to go ahead and collect mezainis for her. We said, we learned in the Masech, the share ksus v'oina, most Rishonim learn share ksus v'oina, that what's share is food, right? That the husband is mechuyev to feed his wife besides ksus, clothing, or an oina, and marital relations. So there's a mitzvah, so he's meshubit to her. So therefore Bezdin will go ahead and ensure that his mitzvah is being kept by feeding him. Shmuel Amar, no, ain't Poiskin. Now we're going to have 2 reasons for Shmuel. So again, Shmuel says after 3 months, if the guy is, you don't hear the guy is dead, we don't know we know he's gone for 3 months. We don't know his health status. Says Shmuel, do not go down. What's the reason? Rav seems to be obvious. Shmuel is a chiddush. We have 2 pshatim. My timer, Rav Zvid Omar, Eimot Srari Atvasa. Rav Zvid says, I'll say Srari, a packet of money, Atvasa she held on to. If you look at Tosfos, guys, look at Tosfos, the third Tosfos from the bottom. Good. The line right after that, underneath that. The Hainu Tam, the Stam de Milsa, Matvislat Srari. Stam de Milsa, a person's matvis, sorry. Stam, a person goes away, he's going to make sure that his wife has something. It's not like a chiddush tzrari atfasa, it's the norm tzrari atfasa. Says Tosfos, it was normal for a guy to leave his wife stuff even after 3 months. She should have it makes sense, right? You're a reliable husband. Hopefully you're not a running away husband going overseas to get out of the marriage. You just happen to be overseas for business for whatever reason. It would be normal to go ahead at Stama de Milsa. That's normal. You see it clearly in Tosfos, the words. It's normal to leave it. So therefore, we won't go ahead and go down to the Nechasim because Miss Stama says, Rav Zvid, she has what to live on. Srari atfasa. She has srari. She has a packet of gold. She has what to go ahead and buy food with. That's Reb Zvid. Reb Papa Amar Chashinan Shema Amala with Chayish. That maybe he said to her, listen, see, we learned early in the Masechta that why does a woman get mezainis? What does the husband get in lieu of the mezainis? He gets her wages if she works, correct? What happens if we tell her, you keep your wages and I won't give food? Then he's off the hook. So if he goes overseas, says Rav Papa, maybe he had told her, listen, I'm going overseas. Here, take the money that you make, buy food, because I'm not going to supply you with food. You know why? Because I'm not taking your money. So two reasons. Rav Zvid is choshid she has money. Rav Papa is choshid that she has money. Difference how she got the money. Either way, she has what to live off. According to Rav Zvid, that husband left her something. According to Rav Papa, the husband left her ma'aso yadecha because he told her, see, ma'aso yadayich b'nosayich, in lieu of your ma'aso yadayich, I won't feed you. Guys, good? That's the machloikas between Rav Zvid and Rav Papa. But again, both, what's the common denominator? They're both ensuring that she has something that Bezdin will not have to provide anything for her. My binayu, what's the nafkamina between Rav Zvid's Srari Atfasa and Rav Papa's Tzi Ma'aseh Yadayich B'Zonasayich? It could be nayu gedoyla v'lei safka. She's a gedoyla. Would a person entrust the gedoyla to watch a Srari, a packet of gold? For sure. Lei safka, but she doesn't make enough money to live. Good. That would be good according to who? According to Rav Zvid. But according to Rav Papa, it won't apply, because if see Ma'aseh Yadayich B'Nosayich, there's no Ma'aseh Yadayich over here. She's not making any money. Inami kitana b'safka. If she's a katana, is according to Rav Zvid, would a person give a katana a packet to watch? Obviously not. But safka, if this katana had certain ability to make some money, right, she's a hustler, then you would work. So again, if it's a gedoy levlei safka, Rav Zvid would be chayshid, but Rav Papa would not be chayshid. If it's a katana v'safka, Rav Zvid would not be chayshid, and Rav Papa would be chayshid. Okay, those are the two nafkaminas. Okay, now the rest of the Gemara, guys, is going to be asking on Shmuel. The rest of the Gemara is going to be asking on Shmuel. Again, why did Shmuel say that if a man goes overseas, Bezdin does not go down to a property to get? The rest of the Gemara is going to be questioning Shmuel. Good, that's the mahalach. Tashma, Tanan. Misha halach Gemara. Misha halach leMedina Sayam. A person goes overseas. V'ishta tevas mezainos, and a woman has been tevei mezainos. Amishna. Chanan Amar tishba b'soif v'le tishba b'tchila. Okay, you swear when you collect the ksuba. You do not swear when you collect the mezainos. The nechlu love b'nei kahanim gedolim v'amru. No, tishba b'tchila. You swear when you collect the mezainos. U'b'soif. Good, guys. Is she collecting mezainos? What does Shmuel say? You don't. Says the Gemara, Ad Kaloi Pligi, the machloikis between Chanon and the Tanakama and the Bnei Kam Gedolim, Elo le'inyan Shvua, whether you have to make a Shvua on the Mezainis or not. Ava Mezaini Yavin Allah, but Mezainis you will give her. Mezainis you're going to give her, right? So what do you see? Bezdin does give Mezainis. Kashan Shmuel. Again, Shmuel agreed. If I heard she died, kicks in the Tanai Ksuba, as long as you're an almana in my house, you'll get. Says Shmuel, our Mishnah is speaking in that mitzias. That's the ukimta of our Mishnah. It's speaking where? He's dead. So if he's dead, Shmuel agrees. If he's dead, Bezdin goes ahead and fulfills the Tanai Ksuba. Guys, we're good? Okay. Toshma, another question on Shmuel. Misha halach Medina Sayam, the Ishtay Tevas Mizainis, Bnei Kahanim Gedolim Oimnim, Tishba. You can swear in the Mizainis, Chananam Eloi Tishba. So this is a brisa that rewords the Mishnah. It's the same thing as our Mishnah so far. Whether you swear betchila, says Bnei Kahanim Gedolim. In our Mishnah, Chanan came first, and the Kahanim Gedolim came second. In the brisa, the Kahanim are going first, and we're not discussing the Seif, we're discussing the beginning. Whether you swear by Mezainis or not. Says the Bnei Kahanim Gedolim, you have to swear before you collect, and says the Chacham, the Chanan not. The Imba, And if he comes Omar and says, Pasakli Lamazoinois, right? If he shows up and he says, Pasakli Lamazoinois, Ne'eman. Now, what does that mean? Look, in other words, if he shows up and he says, Pasakli Lamazoinois, Ne'eman. Says the Gemara, Hachanami b'sheshama b'shemes. And now, question: how can you say he's dead? You just said if he shows up, right? Says the Gemara, Imbo of Omar Kamar, right? Says the Gemara, no. Imbo la'acha shmua. If he comes after the shmua, in other words, you heard he's dead, and he turns out not to be dead, but and right. So he would be believed. Neman then, what we're not going to be. You gave him the Zionist already. See Rashi here. Ne'eman, guys, here's the kasha. If guys, look at me. Here's the Ukimta. He goes overseas. You hear he's dead, according to Shmuel. You hear he's dead. You give the woman Mizainis. He shows up and he says, I said I'm going to give her Mizainis. If he comes and says, I made up to give him Mizainis, so Ne'eman is believed. What's he believed on? I mean, what's done is done, right? It's after the fact. Besson gave it already. So look at Rashi. What does Rashi say? Ne'eman ubishvua, by swearing, umachseres mashen nasnu lo bezdin, and she would have to return whatever Besson gave her. That's Ne'eman. That whatever Besson get, he would say with a shua that he gave him Mizainis, and then she'd have to return what Besson said, because he says I provided Mizainis for her. So he's believed b'shvua, and she would have to return. So now the Ne'eman is going la'acha ha'maisa, but the maisa vis-a-vis Shmuel. Shmuel has saved face, right? Shmuel is held serve. It's speaking where you fed him only after you heard he died. Okay, so far good? Good. Next. Hachanami b'shoma shemes. Tashma, misha halach le'medina sayam. Someone goes to Medina Sayam. V'ishtoi tavas mizainis. Again, this is the beginning clause for the machlokes Rabbi and Shmuel. Shmuel holds you don't go down. Imba, not the im. Imba v'omar, if he comes and says, Tz'i ma'aser yadayich mizanasayich, Rishoy. Right? So if he comes and he says, Tz'i ma'aser yadayich mizanasayich, Rishoy, then what? He has just to do this. Kadmu Bezdin Pasku, if Bezdin began and said they give him Zionist, Masha Pasku, whatever they made up, they made up. What's the Mitzias of this case? Look at Taisus. The second Taisus in the bottom. Im Lavsa, if she borrowed money for Achla and what ate, and the condition that when he shows up, he's going to repay, like a para, I'm not going to pay. If she didn't go ahead and borrow, she would go ahead and be doichik, but she'd get by. Even though it's not enough. So therefore, if he comes and says, I said, see that was a then what? You don't feed her. Right? So let's go back to the case. What does it mean she's claiming? She's claiming when you were overseas, I went ahead, I borrowed money, and now I want you to pay it up. I had to eat, so I borrowed money to eat, and now I want you to pay it up. That's what happens. Imba, now if he comes back, and he says, that what? That I'm not paying up. You know why? Because I told you, keep your money. And even like Safka, you would have been get says Taisus, you would have get by b'doichik, you would have been able to get by a little bit. Rishai, good. Kadmu Bezdin upasku. If Bezdin went ahead and provided Masha pasku, whatever they provided. He would have to pay up. Read the Gemara on Shmuel. Why, if Bezdin went ahead and pasuk l'chayra, if the guy is overseas, you're not supposed to give any money? What's the answer? Same teretz. Again, we're riding the same pony, right? Shmuel admits shamash b'shemes that you would provide. So again, where's the question from? Those words, pasku Bezdin. What do you see, guys? That if you go overseas, Bezdin will provide from those that clause. We explained the Mishnah, we explained the first one of the Raisa with Tosfos, just to explain the case. The kasha is from what? Pasku Mizainis, right? Bezdin's providing. Why is Bezdin providing according to you, Shmuel? And for the Gemara, Shesham B'Shemes. Good. So far, held, sir. Tashma. Misha halach lemedina sayom v'ishta tavas mezaynos Bezdin yardin l'nechasav. Bezdin goes down to his property. V'zanin u'mefanasin le'ishtoi, and he goes and he takes care of his wife. Avaloi lebanav b'naisav. Bezdin does not take care of what? Of his sons and his daughter. Bezdin not take his sons and daughters. V'loi davar acher, nor does Bezdin take care of something else. What's the kasha? You see, Bezdin does take care of his wife, correct? What would you answer, guys? What would you answer? It's speaking that he's dead, right? I'm setting you up. You know I'm setting you up, right? Right, exactly. Says the Gemara, Amar Rav Sheshes, b'mishra es ishta yedei shlish, where Bezdin had appointed a shlish to take care of what? No, he had appointed a shlish to take care of his wife. He had said, listen, you know what? I'm going overseas, and he gave an apotropis to take care of his wife, and the guy didn't do the job. If he did the job, why is Bezdin getting involved, right? So it's speaking where what? Where he put an apotropis in to go ahead and do the job, and he didn't do the job for Hishru Lizu. And he didn't do the job. So then Bezdin's going to go ahead, what? And since he was Maimon apotropis, guys, once he was Maimon apotropis, you're not worried about what? Srari Atfasa, and you're not worried about him saying, see, my see that from the Zayach. When he appointed a guy to go ahead and take care of her, obviously the reason why Shmuel said you would have to swear is not in vogue here, right? Why would you appoint somebody if you gave him money? Why would you appoint somebody if you made a deal with her, keep your wages, and right? Obviously, he did not do that. Obviously, he was not sorry after, so he didn't give her anything. And obviously, he said, don't keep your wages because he appointed an apotropis. So that's the teretz, guys. The teretz is, since he appointed an apotropis, clearly, what do you see? Not like Reb Zvid, sorry after, not like Reb Papa, see my right? So very good. So in that case, Bezdin's going to go down. Shmuel's Maida, Bezdin goes down when you know for sure. Guys, good? Now, the question at hand is, why didn't he give the same teretz, right? Listen to this beautiful shaf from the Rishonim, guys. There's two people involved over here. Who are they? Zonin Mufarasin, let's go to the first white line. Zonin Mufarasin le'ishtoi, avoloi banu v'benaisav. Guys, if he's dead, what's the halacha? The sons inherit it, and benaisav they would get the Tanai Ksuba, they would get from the estate, correct? They would get from the estate. So when it says you're not mefarnes the benaisav, obviously he must be what? He's alive. Because if he was dead, there would be no need to say you're not mefarnes the benaisav. It's their money. It's theirs. It belongs to them. The fact that it says you don't have to go ahead and be mefarnes the benaisav, you can't say it's speaking where he's dead. You had to come up with a different teretz. And this teretz is Mamad Shlish. Muscle kidvash. Muscle kidvash. Mamish sweet like honey. Beautiful, beautiful deer, guys, right? Beautiful. Mayash, you like it? Go take some more drugs. Anyway, says Vaita. Here we go. My Posca. What? In other words, Fred the Gemara Kasha, Ihachi. I skipped. Ihachi, second line. Ihachi, Banav of Nami. If you're speaking about a shlish, so L'chayri provide for the he must have gone ahead and made the shlish the apotropis for his kids too. Says no. When he went ahead, he made apotropis for his wife, not for his kids. My Pascha, what kind of teretz is that? In other words, why, if you're making apotropis, why would you say one for the other? It's kind of very hard havamina. Bottom Taisus, it says that's that havamina, but again, we'll skip the Taisus now. Two Taisus in for one share is enough, right? Anyway, so my Pascha. In other words, so this teretz doesn't wash. So back to the original kasha. If it's speaking with Bezdin, he went overseas and Bezdin not providing, right? What's the story over here? Good. Why? You can't tell me it's speaking with his apotropis, because if there's an apotropis, then the kids would also get. So we have to have a case, guys, where the woman is provided and the kids are not provided. Shmuel has to come up with a scenario where the woman is provided, the kids are not provided, a pshat, And again, and hold serve to his din that Besdin does not go down to the chasim when a guy goes overseas. Ella lashon charata. Forget. Let's get off the shlish. Let's get off the apotropis. El omrav papa kishasham b'shemes be'ed echad. Oh, now you heard he died, but one knech. What's the knech? You didn't hear from two eidim. You heard from one aid. Now we know there's a special kula by the end of the Yavamis that a woman is able to get married al pi eid echad. She can get married al pi isha. She can even get married al pi atzma. Correct? Good. So now further is the Gemara. Be'ed echad he the iboyis in suvei. She, if she wanted to get married, be'ed echad matzi minsava mizoni nami yavinan la. Since she can, the eid echad helps that she can get married. So obviously it must be that what? How do we view him? As dead. What does Shmuel say? If he's dead, you get it. Guys, she right now would be able to get married. Why? She's an almana. She's an almana. If she's an almana, she gets from the estate. So therefore, however, the boy lemechas and nechasav, they wanted to go ahead and claim an inheritance. Beid echad lematzi nachte, misayni nami lo yavinan la. It's geschmacka teretz, guys. Listen to the chilik. Vis-a-vis the wife, he's dead. Vis-a-vis the kids, he's not dead. Right? So, vis-a-vis Shmuel, we got a teretz. What's Shmuel's teretz? Shama b'shemes, the same teretz we gave all along. And memela what? If you heard you're dead, you're going to go ahead and give up the ksuba, the mezainis from the Tanai Bezdin. Good? Aye. So why about the kids? If he's dead, well, he's not dead vis-a-vis the kids. Of course, you have an Eid Echad believe vis-a-vis her to let her remarry. So it's guys, this is a quasi almana. She's dead for the wife, but alive for the kids. Fascinating, right? But that would explain why they're not provided for. But it also answers Shmuel's kasha, the kasha on Shmuel. It's speaking she's dead. So Shmuel's mother, where she's dead, where he's dead in overseas where he's dead, that why they'd be able to go ahead and get mezainis. Good. Okay, let me just take wet my whistle. Nothing like getting worked up Erev Shabbos on a shmaka piece of Gemara. Now we said v'loy davar acher, right? V'loy davar acher. What is davar acher? You won't call it davar acher. What does davar acher mean? Rav Chisda amar tachshit. Rav Chisda says tachshit. In other words, we provide mezainis for her. We wouldn't provide jewelry and besamim for her and perfume. But Yosef Amar, no, you would provide that tzedakah. You don't go ahead and provide tzedakah. Manda amar tachshit like Rav Chisda kol shekain. Tzedakah, certainly you're not going to provide tzedakah. Beis is not going to be placing tzedakah to aniyim from the nechasav, right? Let's say there's a general collection. You're not going to collect tzedakah from mandiyam tzedakah. Avol tachshit yavinan la. But according to the one who held tzedakah, according to Rabbi Yosef, who said tzedakah, you don't not place it, but you would give her what tachshitin. Why? Because the leinicha lei, it's not good for the husband that this novel that his wife should be in a state of disarray. Good. So Shmuel has held serve. Shmuel held if a guy goes overseas and you don't know what after 3 months and you don't know what happened to him, you do not, Bezdin does not go down, right? We question 3 different ways, and so far he's held serve. We continue to question Shmuel. Tashma. What do you know about Yibum? We know a lot about Yibum, right? Hayivama Gimel Chadashim Yishaynim Nizonis Mishal Baila. A woman, I was waiting for Rabbi to get back in the car. Now I can say share until he got in the car. Okay, now the Yavama, the first 3 months she's not able to be married. Why? Because what's the word? Havchana. You have to be mafkin between the dead husband and the Yavam. If she gets married right away and is pregnant, there's a shaila whether it's a ben tish l'reishon or bes zayin la'achrein. So we have to wait 3 months. Good. During those 3 months, she's supported from her husband's estate. Mikan ve'elech. After that time, after 3 months, einin zaynis. She's not supported. Loy mishal ba'ila v'loy mishal yavam. We want to go ahead and facilitate a yibum or a chalitza. The first 3 months, can she do yibum, guys? First 3 months. What do we know? Kol she'ena oil yibum, eina oil chalitza. Right? That, remember, very important. If you can't do yibum, you can't do chalitza. So the first 3 months, she has to be supported. She's supported from the dead husband's estate. 3 months past now. And now the Zika says you should be marrying your brother-in-law. Good. She's no longer supported by the husband's estate, and she's no longer supported by the brother's estate. However, Ahmad Bedin, you have Ahmad Bedin, and you tell the brother-in-law, listen, you either do Yibam or do Chalitza, right? And what does he do? Ubarach, and he runs away. So this is tantamount to Baila going to Medina Sayyam. Guys, it's the same thing, right? We have the Zika between the Yavam and the Yavama. He's escaping by going overseas. Nizoinus Michelle Yavam, she gets from the Yavam, which would be Mamish, Akasha, and Shmuel. You see where the owner with a husband, in this case, the husband is the Yavam. He's the Yavam, right? He ran overseas, the Yavam. He ran away. And now she's supported by the Yavam, by his estate. So it's Akasha and Shmuel, who says, Bezdin, if the husband goes overseas, you do not go ahead and go down to the estate. He says you do. Amlach Shmuel, Lamai Nechashla. Shmuel says, what are you worried about? Guys, what are the two svaris? Srari Atvasa and Si Maisi Dachim as Nasayach, right? Neither one applies over here. Lamai Nechashla. Lahai. Imishum Srari, if you're Choshev at Srari, Loy Mekarva Daite Legaba. He's not leaving her any money. He's running away from her. She's not mishubed, so therefore she doesn't have to work for him. So Memela, the whole svara of Shmuel that you worry that she has money to be supported, that Bezdin shouldn't go down to the estate, does not apply over here. And Memela, by the Yavam, you'll go down to the estate. Very geshmak teretz. Very geshmak teretz. Toshma. They both go overseas. They come and they say, she says, she comes and says, my husband's dead. She wants, she can collect the mezainis. Right? If she's believed to say her husband's dead, so if she wants mezainis to stay in the estate, she could. If she wants to not collect the mezainis to collect the ksuba, she could. Now, this is what we need. Gersheni. He divorced me. Gersheni Baili. Right? My husband divorced me. What's the halacha? Misparnernes meheleches ad kedei ksuba. Rashi, misparnernes v'leches ksuba legavya. She doesn't collect the ksuba. Shema legirsha. Maybe he never divorced her. She's believed to say my husband's dead. She's not believed to say my husband divorced me. She's believed to say my husband's dead. She's not believed to say my husband divorced me. So you can't collect the ksuba. Why? You can't collect the ksuba because maybe she's not divorced. Okay? But mezainis you would give her. And she can collect the ksuba memanav shach. Im gersha hari not lasan ksuvasa. Vim lav hari hu chayim herself. In other words, memanav shach she can collect her mezainis. If he's dead, then she's entitled to it, and therefore you can only collect up to the end of the ksuba. In other words, you can only collect the masunas of the ksuba because if she's taka divorced, she's not entitled to mezainis. She'd only be entitled to ksuba. So we'll give her mezainis up to the amount of the ksuba, which is the taina of gershuni. Good. Says now the Gemara wants to know why. Fred the Gemara kasha. So the bottom line is we are taking care of her, right? The bottom line is we're taking care of her, right? So l'chayra, it's a kasha and Shmuel. Since the husband's still alive, and the Brisa says misparnernes, she's not believed to say gershuni, but she's not saying her husband's dead, and nonetheless she's being what taken care of. Kasha and Shmuel. She's getting mezainis. Why? Why is she getting mezainis? The husband never came back. She's not to believe he said he's dead. So what do we know, guys? Based upon a report, a dead husband, a live husband who divorced me. We have no report that he's dead. So this is tantamount to a husband going overseas. After 3 months, you don't know what happened to him, and nonetheless, Bezdin is being a farness ad kedei ksubasa. Okay, and we explained ad kedei ksubasa because of the man of shach. Says the Gemara hachanami b'shisham b'shemes, right? Umayshna ad kedei ksubasa. So now, if you heard that he died, right? You heard afterwards. She said Gershuni. You heard that he died. So if she died, you can get mezainis, right? The Gemara, if you heard he died, why are you limited at ad kedei ksubasa? If he's dead, she should be entitled to mezainis up to as long as she lives in the house, correct? And for the Gemara, the afsda nafsha, she was mafsad on herself by saying gershuni. In other words, she caused it. Had she not said anything, she'd be able to go ahead and live infinitum from the estate. We had a machloikas how long, whether Bnei Yehuda, Bnei Golul, right? We had machloikas between Bnei Yehuda, Bnei Golul. Bnei Yehuda would force the issue, Bnei Gola couldn't force the issue. But now that she said Gershuni, Yehuda upset on Nafsha, she's mafsha on herself. Toshma. Ketzad Omru Mima Enes, Ein Lo Mezainis. How do you say that a girl, a katana, how do you say does me and does not get Mezainis? You can't say it's speaking where what she is Yeshevkas Tachas Baila, Shrei Baila Chayev Mezainis. In other words, the Baal would be Chayev. Ella must be going Shaholach Baila Medina Sayam. He must be went overseas. Lovsa, she borrowed money, V'achlan, she ate it. Domina, she stood up what? And she what? She stood up and she refused the marriage. So now the husband does not have to repay the people who fed her. That's the case of what? Of mion that you don't pay mezainis. Time with the miyana. The reason you're not paying mezainis is because she did mion. Haloi miyana, yavinan la, right? You would give her. So what's this the case? Husband going overseas, Kasha and Shmuel. Shmuel, so what are you worried about over here? Again, same teretz. The svara of why would apply. Girls, guys. She's a katana. Is he going to entrust her with a bag of gold? Most katanim, even though we said on the Yom Aleph and Afkamina would be between Rav Zavin and Rav Papa, would be a katana that could go ahead and take care of herself. Most katanas can't take care of herself. Says Shmuel, a beautiful teretz. The reason why I wouldn't let Bezdin do it does not apply over here. The katana clearly has no money. She has no money, according to Rav Zavid, because he's not going to trust it to hold on to a packet. And she has no money, according to Rav Papa, because she can't work. And so you're not worried about saying, see, I see that from Messiah. My Haviola, guys, what's the bottom line? We have Machloikas Rabbi Shmuel. What's the bottom line? My Haviola, Kiyasar Abdimi Amar. Maisa Bolafne Rebbe Beis Shorim. Again, that's Rebbe lived in Beis Shorim. Remember, he just went to Tzipuri to the mountains to recover, but he lived in Beis Shorim. Upasik la Mezainos, right? And he said she gets Mezainos like Rav. Lefnei Rebbe Shmuel, the same Shaila came in front of Rebbe Shmuel, but Tzipuri in the town of Tzipuri, V'lei Pasik Mezainos, and he did not give him Mezainos. Was wondering, why did Rabbi Shmuel say you're not getting mezainis? No, it's my Mishnah. She was getting mezainis. The question was whether they have to swear to it or not. What would the reason Rabbi Shmuel would say she doesn't get mezainis? So I'm a layer of Shami. What are you talking about, Abba? What are you talking about? Rabbi Shmuel already said, I'm Mishnah speaking. When he was in Bavel, Kishashama by Shemes. You know why? Because everyone agrees, Kishashama by Shemes. So it's a Tanai Ksuba you're getting. So Amalei, so Rav Yochanan retorted to Rav Shami Barabba, Psirasai Ba Kulik Hai. This explanation comes so much. In other words, Rav Yochanan was not buying this Ukimta in the Mishnah. The Ukimta in the Mishnah clearly stated that what? If a man goes overseas, she can come, claim a mezainis, just the question is about the Shvua. And this thing about him being dead, they weren't buying this Ukimta in the Mishnah. So therefore, Rabbi Yochanan wondered out loud why Rabbi Shmuel would not give mezainis. Same Gemara, different psak. Same people, different psak. He also Ravin. When Ravin came from Eretz Yisrael, Lama Ma'aseh Balafnei Rebbe b'Beis Shorim v'loi pasuk lemezainis. Like Rebbe in the first lashon, Rebbe did give mezainis, in the second lashon, Rebbe didn't. Lefnei Rebbe Shmuel b'Tzipurei, in the first lashon, Rebbe Shmuel said he didn't. Over here, who pasuk lemezainis, and Rebbe Shmuel did. So the nafkamin is between what is we flipped the Tanoim. We flipped Rebbe and Rebbe Shmuel. Am Rabbi Yochanan, my raw Rebbe Shlei Pasek la. So I'm a Rav Shami Rabba, Kvartigma Shmuel, over here it says Rabbeinu. Kvartigma Shmuel beBavel, Kishasham by Shemes. So I'm a Rabbi Yochanan said, Pesirasa by Kuli Hai, you're explaining the Mishnah Kuli Hai again, a lashon of wonderment. This is not a good pshat in the Mishnah. The Hilchasa, that's the whole halacha. The Hilchasa Kavasi, the Rav. The halacha is like Rav, Upaisekas Mizoinais Leisha, or Leishasish. If a woman goes out over, right? If a woman goes out overseas, a man goes overseas, Bezdin will go down and provide Mizoinais. Of course, why? Because Rav says you're Meshubid. We're not worried about Sari Atfasa, and we're not worried that he said, see, I see that from his Nasayach. Okay. The Hilchasa Kavasi Rav Huna Amarav, Dam Rav Huna Amarav, Yechol Isha Shetaim Labaila. A woman can tell her husband, don't feed me and I won't work. The Hilchas Agavasi the Rav Zvid, bikunya, and regarding a kli that was glazed inside. Now, stam an earthenware kli, if it gets a belia of something that's treif, of yayinesech or chametz, right? You can't get it out. You can't use it. What happens if it's glazed with lead, right? So now it depends. Hani ma'ane the kunya, these glazed kalim, the chivri v'uchmi, if it's white or black, shari, then it's permitted because it's pure lead, it's smooth, it will stop the absorption of anything that's usher, and therefore you could use it once you wash it out. Yeruke, however, if it's green, then asiri. It seems the green has alum mixed into it, and alum will cause it to go ahead and absorb. That we said that the white and black you could use is there's no cracks in it. If the white and black, if there's black in it, asura, if there are cracks in it, then it will be asa, because we say it's going to absorb. Why are you bringing these halachas all together? So pshat is they were learned in the Beis Medrash at the same time. You know, the Gemara is recounting: 1, we gave the psak of Rav; 2, we gave the psak of Rav Huna; and 3, we gave the psak of Rav Zvid. They're totally different subjects. They were learned at the same time, so the Gemara went ahead and codified them at the same time. Have a great Shabbos, everybody.